Okay, so I'll
Great.
start with the intro and then I'll ask
Yes,
you to introduce yourself. Is that okay, sir?
absolutely all right.
So hello, assalamualaikum everyone. My name is NURAIN FATRISYIA. I'm from DC5B and today I'll be interviewing my friend Samara Lan for my assignment, which is Varieties in English Language. Say hi, Sam.
Hello.
So
uh,
yeah, please introduce yourself. Thank you.
my name is Samara, but most people call me Sam or Sam. I am 25 years old. I am a PhD candidate in the Netherlands, where I study plant immunity, and I am very happy to help you with this interview. So we're looking very much forward to it.
All right, thank you so much. So let's we jump in straight to the first question. The first
Yes.
question: can you share the English language how English language have evolved in your country? Are there what are the historical keys, events, or influence that have played a significant role in its development? So, for example, in Malaysia, it was because we were being conquered by the British, and that's how English came to us. What about you in
Yes.
Netherlands?
So in the Netherlands, this question, I particularly do not know exactly how it happened. I can have a couple guesses.
Sure.
So one of them is that the Netherlands has a very rich trade history. So especially what we call it the golden hour, golden century, which is basically the 16th century here in the Netherlands. The Netherlands were very high and big in the trade overseas. Maybe you can recognize in the colonization history of the Netherlands, it was basically during that area and then later on. And I think for if you are in trade and such kinds of stuff, it's important to not have this language barrier. So I think it was a little bit in the nature of the Netherlands to learn different languages, to being able to trade and to hold that high position in the trade industry. So that's one of my guesses. The other one is that both Dutch and English are both Germanic languages. So they are similar to one another, so it makes it more easily to learn. And for example, French is already, if you look at the words, but also the grammar, it's more distinct from Dutch than English is. And then I think it's really started blooming when it became like the world became more the internationalization of the world became more normal. So with TV and movies and those types of stuff. Because an example I can give you, what I see that's, for example, different from German and French is when we have English movies, we only have the subtitled ones. So it's very uncommon in the Netherlands to have like Dutch spoken English movies. So, for example, if you go to French, it's very normal to have it dubbed. So, to have like an English movie and then the people speak French over it. So, that you have like the English in French. That does not exist in the Netherlands.
Mm.
So, unless it's like a children's movie, it's only subtitles. TV is only subtitled. So, it's like very common here to use English.
Okay, that's actually really that's amazing. I like the answer so much. It helps us a lot.
No, but no, because we had some exchange students and they were like really surprised when they saw the TV. Like, it's not dubbed. I was like, no, no, it's so weird that you guys have like dubbed TV because it sounds so much better in English.
Yeah,
But
true.
if you like specifically ask for historical events, I would say our trade. I can
Mm.
look it up for you what the exact English name is. In Dutch is the Verenigde Oost-Indische Compagnie, which doesn't say anything to you at all. But I will try to find like the English name for you. And so my bet would be like the trading beginnings of the Netherlands,
Okay.
and like the trade was really important for our history and for our development. And then I think the people then thought it was necessary to learn.
Mm.
So
Okay.
it's one of also the traits of the Netherlands that, because we do not only learn English in high school, we also learn French and German because, you can use that later on in life, for example, when you work at the company and to communicate. Whereas it's like not normal in Germany or in French to learn Dutch. So
So
I think
you
it's
guys
basically,
basically have to learn like three languages in high school.
Yes, depends which level on high school you go to.
Huh?
But it is normal to learn more than one foreign language.
Wow. So you
And
use
basically,
is it really?
yeah, I had 6 years of French, which was a really pain in my butt, but you know.
I had like 6 months of Mandarin and I can't remember anything. So
Okay.
okay, let's jump to the next question. How has is English history influenced your country development over the years? So what is it?
Mm, let's see. I think it's English now has like a very big impact on the Netherlands. Um, because I don't think it's even like the English itself. It's more the internalization of the which is really happening in the Netherlands. Um, as I, for example, look outside, it's not like, for example, if you have something a sign in Dutch that you see the English translation. It's only Dutch. You can see that it's more like that in like the bigger cities where most of the internationals live in, for example, Amsterdam, Utrecht, Rotterdam, where it's more common to have a lot of things in English. But I would say like in the smaller cities, I don't think like the English still has, oh, let me just turn off my phone. Um, that English does not have as much impact as in the bigger cities.
Oh, okay. So in Netherlands, your part in itself, how does it influence it there specifically? Is there
So,
like a lot of English or
what do you mean?
so for example in the city that you live in, right? Is it common
Yes.
for you to actually see like oh there would be English words here and there or people
So
using
no, so my place, I live in a relatively small city. I
uh
don't think it's as big, but I work in Utrecht, for example,
mhm.
and there, when you walk in the center, you can see that like a lot of stores don't even have Dutch anymore. It's just English.
Oh,
For example, those kind of things. So that's like purely based on like the English language. You can see that, for example, the internationalization and the internet culture. You can see that also more developing in those kind of cities. But I would not blame that or like appoint that to the English language. But like for example, I think they try to facilitate the internationals a little bit more in the bigger cities. And I think they already assume that most Dutch people know English, so they just put like the English sign there without any Dutch.
mm, okay. Nice.
And you don't have that. You don't have that at all at the smaller cities or smaller
Oh,
villages.
so they are mostly on the bigger city.
Yes.
Okay. Next question. What is the current status of English language in your country today? How widely is it spoken and in what context is it mostly used? Does it have to do with like government? Do you use it for like the government the letters and stuff? Do you use it or do you still use Dutch?
We still do use Dutch and like the government. However, you can ask for it to be in English if you cannot speak Dutch. I would say it's like kind of similar to my last English question, sorry, answer.
Yeah, it's
Um,
really good.
Most people speak English here. So if, for example, if you come to the Netherlands as a holiday, you will be perfectly fine. A lot of
Oh,
people speak English. It might not be everyone at the same level, but they probably will be able to help you out. Of course, there are some cases where some people are not able to speak English. They only speak Dutch. However, those people are usually a bit older, the like on older generation. Um, but I think most Dutch people speak very well English, or at least they can express themselves in English. Um, Let me see. It's like I said before, in our education system, it's very important to learn English. I think the government put a lot of emphasis in that.
mhm.
Therefore, we speak much. if I can say so, much better English than, for example, France or Germany, which are two very big countries very close to the Netherlands.
Mhm.
Oh, by the way, I do think, coming back to one of the other questions,
Yeah.
maybe one of the reasons the Netherlands also decided to speak good English is because of our size. And um, I'm not sure, by the way. I'm
No, it's
just
okay.
like think. I think because of our size, we are like a very small country,
Yeah.
and one if you have to compete, for example, against Germany or against France, those are very big countries. So I
Oh,
think it gives you like a little bit of advantage if you're able to communicate. For example, if you know how to speak French or if you know how to speak German, it puts you a little bit on the map. Okay,
ah.
coming back to this question, which you also asked me. Um, so yeah, so most I do think most people speak good English. I had one friend, she lives in London. She was going to visit me some years ago. And I was like, yeah, I can pick you up, but I have to work first. So, go to Amsterdam, be happy. And she was really worried that people would not understand her because she already had some experience in the other countries. And I was like, yeah, don't worry at all. So a couple hours later, I was going to pick her up, and she was like, "Whoa, I'm really impressed. Everybody here speak English." And I was like, "Yeah, no, especially in Amsterdam, don't worry about it." So like I said before, in the bigger cities, don't worry at all. Almost everybody will be able to speak English, at least to be able to help you. It might be if you go to like the smaller villages that people struggle, especially with the older generation. But in a bigger city, it's not an issue at all. I would even say so because we have a lot of internationals living in, for example, Amsterdam or Utrecht, that there might also be a chance that you encounter someone that doesn't speak Dutch at all. That, for example, people working at the clothes store, they cannot speak Dutch, they only speak English to you.
Oh, so if I were to send a letter, a formal letter to the government, is it okay for me to use English? Is it
I
totally
think so.
acceptable? No.
I've never but I've never tried it myself because I always do English. And we almost never sent a letter to the
Oh, okay,
government,
like email, maybe.
but like an email should be fine. Let me
Oh,
just look it up. Yeah, that should be, especially for example, school or like universities, that's absolutely fine. But I would say like the government would also be okay. Yeah, I would so. I think you cannot force people. Oh, my little sister came home. I will
oh,
just tell her that I'm in a meeting and then
oh, so wait, you live with your family, right? Oh, sorry.
my sister was saying, now I can say very bad words and then they can laugh at you. I was like, no, don't do.
No, please don't.
That's not
I mean,
funny.
I
No,
mean,
no,
my
no,
lecturer
no,
would
no,
laugh
no.
at it, but I don't think she would really appreciate it because she's really cool.
No. Okay. No, because like her teacher will grade this, Sophia, and we don't want her to get the best grades. No, but yeah, I still live with my family, and my sister just have had some pretty heavy exams,
It's okay. She can say
which
hi if you want. If she
which
wants
went
to.
well. If you can say hi if you want. Yeah, 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 it's okay.
It's okay.
That is my little sister.
Hi.
Hello.
Oh my God, you guys have different hair. So cute.
Yeah, yeah, we do. We look very different, I think.
Yeah. She's
But yeah,
very.
it will be possible because it's a very accepted language. It's not an official language, but it is an accepted language. So I think they will. I do not know, however, if they will respond in English though, but they will definitely accept your letter.
Okay. So, next question. How are your thoughts on the development of English language in your country? Do you see it as a positive or a negative influence, and why is that?
So the first question is how, and the second question is what I think of it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So in a way, what
So
do you thought of it? Do you think it's a positive development or is it a negative development?
yes, I definitely think it's a positive development. I'm very happy that, they put a lot of emphasis on how to speak English because at the end of the day, you will need to communicate, and like the internationalization of like the world is becoming bigger and bigger, and you need to speak English. Otherwise you cannot communicate with other people. You cannot expect everybody to learn how to speak Dutch.
Hmm.
But you still want to be able to talk with them, not only like job wise and economy wise, but also how to learn new cultures, to travel. So it's just like a way to be able to express yourself in like a different language. So I'm very happy. I'm also very grateful that I'm able to speak English. We are taught very young actually. So in the Dutch school system, we have three different schools. The first one you go from when you're 4 till you're 12, and then you go from till you're 12 till you're 16 or 18. It kind of depends which level of high school you do. And then college-wise, university-wise, it depends on which subject you're taking during university. But we already, well, when I was younger, we started like around 10 with just like simple words, simple phrases, and then it gets heavier during middle school and high school. And then I had a very international, especially master. The bachelor, not so, but like the master it was. So then you develop. But I think like during middle school and high school is like the time period where you truly learn how to speak English in high school, and it really helps that like the children have access to, for example, English movies, English series, English music, so that like speeds up the process, I think, which is also a good thing. It's really nice to be able to express yourself in a different language. For example, I don't think we would have been friends if both of us weren't able to speak English. It would
True,
be very
actually.
hard.
That would be really, really hard. I have to learn Dutch. You have to learn Malay. I'm like,
Or me Malay.
I mean,
Oh, and also with my, for example, the job I have. So I work in research,
oh, you're working in
and
research?
yeah, I'm a PhD candidate in plant biology.
Oh,
So I do a lot of research, and my research is based on the building stones of other researchers. That would not have been possible if they did not communicate their results in English.
oh, true.
So, and also me, I will share my result in English. So maybe somebody else, for example, in Malaysia, will be able to read what I did. That would have not been possible if I did not know how to speak English.
Got it.
So personally, for me, I think it's amazing.
Okay. It does sound amazing. Like, actually. Okay. This might be a really fun question. I think it's a fun question for me. Okay.
Uh,
How does new phrases or slang in social media with English terms influence in your native language?
it's really funny because I don't think it's like even influences. People just copy paste them. So people are speaking Dutch, and then they have like an English like phrase just in the middle of their Dutch, and then they continue in Dutch. So it's not
Oh,
like they translate it; they just use it. It's really funny.
yeah.
Yeah, me also with like my Dutch friends. Sometimes, you want to say something, but you can have not like a Dutch, and then we just continue the conversation in English
So
because it makes more.
you're just
It
basically
fits
mixing two language together.
100% because sometimes like English just fits the vibe much better, so it hits better when you're saying it. So you're
Oh,
like,
I understand.
uh,
That's so Malaysian, by the way. We would mix
yeah,
like in the middle of language.
yeah. So some like, uh, yeah. So it's really funny. I also do it, and sometimes I even, especially text wise, you just start texting in English because it sounds much better, and you're like, yeah,
Could you like give me like example of what some of the sentence that you would use, for example?
definitely. Let me just grab a text from one of my friends.
Yeah.
So, so for example, yesterday I I visited her and then I left and she was like, "Yeah, hey Sammy, thank you for coming," which is in English.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we just continued the entire thingy in
In
English.
Dutch. Okay, oh,
And then
English.
she said like at one point she just starts speaking Dutch back again. And then she has this entire conversation in Dutch
Uh-huh.
with questions, and then I react like, "Ooh, nice." And then I just continue in Dutch again, like, "Ik ga zo douchen, dan gaan we," which translates into like, "Ooh, nice" in English. And then in Dutch I wrote, "Yeah, I'm going to shower now." So it's just
Oh,
like this back and forth with English, and sometimes you respond in English. I don't know even why we do that, but sometimes like certain words or phrases, they sound better
I
in
actually
in
understand it.
yeah, in
Yeah,
English, and
I
then
got
I don't know. Especially with like things like, "Ooh, nice, nice,
it.
great, amazing. Hey,
Yeah.
buddy." Like they don't sound very great in Dutch, so you just I don't know, they copy paste them.
How would
I
it
think
sound?
like the Gen Z generation, they might even do it more than we do, but
Mm,
I'm not really into the
they're not
I don't
really.
know what I
Even
don't
though
know. I
you're
don't
Gen
know,
Z as
know
well.
exactly what happens there. My sister sometimes calls me a boomer, so there's that.
I thought you're 25. You're Gen Z, Sam.
I think technically I am, but like apparently my behavioral patterns they fit the millennial generation better. So I think I'm just going to associate with them and then I'm okay with that. But
Okay.
I think technically I am Gen Z.
So like you can just shove it to your sisters like I am Gen Z. I just don't.
Yeah, and she will be like, absolutely not.
Ah, okay. Next question. Oh, it's almost an hour. Okay. That's next
Oh.
question. Okay, what are the words that has no English translation in your native language? Could you take a
Yeah, well, I do have two for you.
Oh, sure. Give it to me.
So the first one is gezellig.
Roselle.
Gezellig. And now
Okay.
you're asking what does that mean? And I can
Yes.
say I don't know how to say that in English because we don't have an English translation, but I will write it for you.
Okay. Roselle.
Gezellig.
Oh, Roselle. Okay.
I will try to describe it for
Yes,
you.
please.
I don't know how that will go because I'm not like the best describer. But for
It's okay.
example, you are sitting around with your friends
Uh-huh.
and it's like cozy and nice and you're feeling great and you're feeling like happy, and you can say now guys, it's really gezellig.
Oh, so you're basically describing the
You
situation
have like
vibe.
yeah, so like you're having a good time. It's like, you don't want to go home and you're describing what the feeling like it is gezellig.
Ah, I might actually use that instead. Be like, oh, it's a Roselle. Huh.
Yeah, so het is nu gezellig. It's now gezellig with you.
Aw.
Yeah, the second one is this one, which is jarig.
Ja, toch?
This one is, I think it's a bit easier to explain. For example, when it's your birthday in English, you can
Mhm.
say it's my birthday.
Ja.
However, in English, you have not like a descriptive way to say. For example, you have sentences like I'm happy, I'm green, I'm tall, uh, I am sad. You have all these words to describe your situation, right?
Mhm.
However, you have not a word in context to describe that it's your birthday. That you cannot say I am birthday, right? But
Oh.
in Dutch, you can say I am, and then and that describes that it's your birthday. And you can
Oh.
say like, for example, if you have it's my birthday,
Uh-huh.
in Dutch will be het is mijn verjaardag.
Het is mijn verjaardag, okay?
Wait again. It's my birthday. So it's basically this. However,
Mhm.
you cannot say you don't have an English word to say this, but in Dutch you do have a word to say like it's my birthday. Ik ben jarig.
Oh.
So in English you only have like one way to say it's your birthday, which
Huh?
is it's my birthday. But
Uh-huh.
in Dutch you have two ways. You can say het is mijn verjaardag, or you can say ik ben jarig.
Okay. Man, the time is running out. Oh.
Oh, so sorry. I will try to be quicker.
No, it's okay, it's okay. I need those answers. You help me a lot. It's okay. Maybe if the time runs out, we could try to do it in another not another time, just another we will open another link. That's okay with you. How
Yes, of
long how
course.
long are you free for?
Now today, my schedule is like quite flexible.
Oh,
So after like everything I have to do is like computer work. So after like our Zoom meeting, I will just go back to the office and then I will continue with my
uh,
little thingy and then
okay. Okay.
type that up.
So we have three more questions left. Just three more. Okay.
Yes.
Next question. Pardon me, does the English spoken in your country have mix of words or influence with your native country? I think you have answered this question. The answer is definitely yes. Like,
Yeah, so we use a lot of English. There are also some English words that don't really have, especially like in the field I work in, you have a lot of English words which we cannot translate in Dutch. So we just use the English word for that.
okay, we just answered that question easy. And how has your local culture influenced the way people speak or learn English?
How have our culture? So
Yeah,
I think I'm not sure if I'm going to answer like the
it's okay.
question correctly.
Just
So if you need me something else, then just say. So
I
I think like the government puts a lot of emphasis to learn good English, and I also think it's really normalized here to learn English. That it's really weird if you have like somebody that is the same age that does not speak English. I think it's weird, especially with the access to the internet, to different TV shows, movie shows. I think it's quite normalized that people speak good English here. Of course, there are different levels, and like for me, I have like a very heavy Dutch accent. That's okay, but I'm still able to express. So I think like so the normalization of speaking English with your peers also, and the emphasis of the government to put like a lot of effort for students to be able to learn. I think those have been like very important for like very important culture developments for the spoken English language in the Netherlands.
okay, got it. Perfect answer. Last question. What
Yeah.
are some challenges faced by you or of the other languages when incorporating English vocabulary in your everyday speech? So like how is it how does you have to be, how does you how difficult does it for you to actually put in English vocabulary in a proper sentence in your everyday, how you learn the languages or your culture itself, your Dutch language itself? I'm sorry, my English is pretty bad.
No, no, it's not bad at all. Your English is amazing.
Thank you.
So I think for me, at this point, it's not difficult anymore. Like my English is nowhere near perfect, but I think if I compare it when I just like learned it in English during high school, that I don't have to think as much about it anymore than I used
Oh,
to. I think a big part of me is, for example, because during my master's, but also like my job now, it's only English. So you have like in the lab, you have a lot of internationals, so you only speak English with them. Like every result you write, it is in English because otherwise you cannot publish them. All those type of things. So I don't know. I think my brain is now really trained at speaking English. However, it does become a problem when I get tired because
oh,
then I tend to forget words, also
uh-huh.
in Dutch. So then you're like speaking English and then you forget words, but you do know them in Dutch. So you like, what's that English word again? Or like vice versa, you're speaking Dutch and then you forget Dutch word and then you know it in English. So you're like, what's the Dutch word again for this?
Oh,
Um, so then I see like it takes more effort for me, for myself.
oh, like for example, when you start learning, right? What makes it
Yes, so
easier? Okay.
So I cannot remember how I learned English anymore. It's really
Oh,
fake. So, but I can explain, for example, for French. So I had French during high school for 6 years.
okay.
Almost forget everything, by the way. I studied it's so bad. I studied for 6 years. I actually had like a decent level of French, but then you
Whoa.
know, at after high school, you don't speak it anything at all, like in French. So, and because you don't use it anymore, you tend to forget it. And with English, it's more, even if you don't work, you still have TV, you still have the internet, you still have like people you encounter with which you have to speak English to. So you keep using it.
Oh, so do you think that perhaps TV and the internet or even like songs are one of the major things that actually help someone to actually learn English in your country apart from the government?
Definitely, I think it's played like a very big role. Like I don't know, not for certain, but like my feeling says that it has a big role, especially for myself. If I look at myself, during high school, I read a lot of books, but they weren't read in Dutch. I read English books, and that's really helped. But also like watching TV, I watch a lot of TV, and maybe I shouldn't say this on recording, but
It's
I
okay.
watch them illegally online. And you
It's okay.
don't
It's okay.
if you do that, you don't have the luxury to have Dutch subtitles. So at one point, you just get used to the English, without the subtitles. Also for music, you learn, you start singing along with them, and then you start actually thinking about the lyrics, and then you know what they are saying. So for at least for me, it's played a huge role.
Okay. I think that's it for us for our interview. You answered every single question, guys.
Oh yeah,
Which was very beautiful, by the way. Thank you so much, Sam. I owe
no
you.
problem at all. No, no, it's absolutely okay. It was also for me really fun to meet you.
It was really fun to meet you too. I hope maybe one day we can call again. Hmm.
Absolutely. Yes, of course. I mean, um, so my phone do not give me any messages at all of Instagram. So I only see like a little icon if I open the app itself.
Okay.
But I don't get any like push message on my phone that say like,
Oh.
hey, like a notification that I got a new Instagram message. So
Oh.
I don't know if like people in Malaysia use WhatsApp
Yes, I
or
do. We do. We do.
so I will
We're
give you
huge
my
on
phone
WhatsApp.
number. If anywhere in the future you need my attention more sooner than like usually, just send me like a WhatsApp message because I'm usually like faster with that than
Oh,
on Instagram.
definitely. Yeah, we
So
use WhatsApp actually. Oh,
so this is my phone number.
okay.
Like I said, like I'm really slow with Instagram, basically because I'm not getting any notification at all, and I don't open Instagram that as often as WhatsApp. So if you need me, just send me a WhatsApp message. It's
Sure,
absolutely all right.
I will. Okay, so that's all for our interview today. Thank you so much, Sam.
You're very welcome. Very much good luck with your assignments.
Thank you so much.
Uh, I had much fun doing the interview, so I hope you have much fun like
I
finishing
have
up the assignments.
I have so much fun doing the interview and also able to meet you and your sister. Oh my
uh,
God, you guys are so. Your sister looks like she have a little bit of like Middle Eastern blood in them. I don't know how. Maybe it was too dark.
yeah, so I don't remember if I ever sent one in one of our texts, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm half Brazilian,
Yeah, I know that.
but I look more Dutch, and my sister looks more Brazilian.
Oh, okay. It makes sense now. It makes sense now. Okay.
So yeah, I think it's because of that, but I do agree. I do look very different than my little sister.
Yes. I think that would be quite perhaps when you guys walk together, people will say, "Oh, that's your sister." I don't think that happens. Does it?
No, and then I also have like a little brother, and he also doesn't look at us. Like we are just three completely different persons. It's really funny.
That's actually really fun to
Yeah,
do.
but like if you see our parents, you can say like, "Hey, yeah, your brother looks more like this, and you look more than that." And so we do look like our parents, but we just don't look like each other.
Okay.
It's really funny. But,
Yeah. I think
uh,
that's all for today. Thank you so much, Sam. Again, I will end the
you're
call.
very welcome.
We'll definitely chat more, I promise.
Yes,
And maybe I could share you some more about Malaysian stuff here and there. Thank you,
it's really
Sam. Bye.
fun. You're very welcome. Bye bye. Good luck.
Thank you. Bye bye. Good luck on your studies.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Oh, yes. Recording stop.